You know, guys, I really like this motorcycle a lot. Triumph T120. It's got an off-road X pipe on it, but I don't know, fellas, these pea shooters, they're just not doing it for me. Yes, that's more like it. British Customs Predator Shorties. Nothing holding any flow back. It's going to make chain adjustments a whole lot easier, but I cannot wait to get these on the bike. It is going to sound amazing. So, British Customs, known for their quality. This stuff is wrapped, packed extremely well. Showed up with absolutely no blemishes whatsoever, and a full hardware kit. Okay, guys, so before we get to wrenching, let's get a bit of a sound clip, as she is very cold. I'm not going to pipe it up too much. Doesn't sound bad. But believe me, guys, riding the bike, you can barely hear it inside your helmet. We can do better. Guys, when you're pulling that rear peg, or anytime you're pulling pegs out, you're going to have that little detent ball bearing and a spring inside the foot peg. I always recommend putting something underneath the bike to catch that if it falls. If those little ball bearings hit concrete, they will bounce and check out and you'll never see them again. That'll be it. So anyway, kind of a bit of a top tip. Anything will work, towel, bubble wrap, you name it, an old shirt, just remember to do that. It'll help you. All right, guys, and your factory silencer is going to check in somewhere just shy of about 9 pounds. I'd say about 8.5 pounds or so. Oh yeah, and the factory silencer is a straight through design of sorts. You can see that right about in here, the pipe comes in and terminates. So this is basically kind of like a chamber with a reduction and then a pipe. Just in case you're wondering. That little Shortie Predator is about 3 pounds. So saving about 5 pounds per side. 10 pounds total, it looks like. Oh yeah, and as far as being a straight through design, I don't know that it could get more straight through than that. All right, so I know you animals like to ride your bikes with no exhaust, at least some of y'all do. I would be remiss if I did not give you the obligatory fired up without any kind of can sample. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. Now I can. Need coffee. Oh, yeah. All right, enough of that. All right, guys, one side down, one to go. And there you go, guys. Good looking exhaust. I like it. Let's see what she sounds like. All right. We'll shot down the pipe for you. Let's get her fired up. Ooh, that sounds good. First time hearing it, guys. That sounds rowdy. We'll let her warm up for a little bit and take it for a quick scoot. All right, guys, so just letting her idle here, I can tell you that it is a little bit deeper than what it was with the pea shooters with the catalytic converter removed. But it's not loud at all. In fact, it's quite a bit quieter at idle than I thought that it would be. But it's got, it definitely has more of a bark than what it had before. But I can't really say that it's a whole lot louder, but it is definitely louder and deeper than what it was before. Okay, guys, if you can hear that, she's got the tick, tick, tick. Just let her get some heat in the system. I'm going to go back through and make sure everything is tight. But a few things I wanted to mention if you're thinking about going with one of these British Customs kits and you've got a T120. First thing, right up underneath here, you can see where you're using your factory puck in the can itself. So there's that again for the T120s, and that is for your center stand. If your bike doesn't have a center stand, then that really doesn't apply to you. Also, I am using the factory hardware. I am not using the clamps that came with the kit. Here's one of those clamps. These things are far less substantial than the ones that come on the bike from the factory, and you really are going to need to put some wrist into these things to get them to tighten up. And I kind of stripped this one out. I may not have mentioned it yet, but the kit does not come with any instructions, but it does come with some extra parts. I'm guessing that this may be something for a T100. I'm not really sure what it's for. I'm not familiar with both bikes or the differences between the two. If that has something to do with its center stand, maybe it does. But that's some hardware that was absolutely unnecessary in the installation of this kit, at least on my T120. And last but not least, on my bike, I am running the shorter side of the spacer, I guess you'd call it the hat, inside instead of outside. The reason for that is it just seems to give it a little bit more clearance. At least that's the way it worked on this thing. And there you have it, guys. Time for me to get this thing out on the road and have some fun with it. I will also say that in the tune, I did add some fuel across the board, about 3% to an already augmented by 5% amount of fuel down low, about 5% through the mid-range, and about 8% at the top of the RPM range at wide open throttle. That'll give you an idea for the tune specs anyway, that I've made some changes to just to accommodate for the extra flow of those pipes. All right, guys, so I hope that helped you out. If you're thinking about getting some of these pipes, that'll at least give you an idea for what it will sound like. Time for me to go have some fun. Y'all have a wrap. That's a wrap. I'll catch y'all on the next one. It's been a long day. Adios.